Hello everyone, today we will be reviewing the Venator class Republic Attack Cruiser or Star Destroyer. This set is 5,374 pieces, set number 75367, rated 18 and up. Let's move around to the sides and the back of the box. On the side of the box we have the back of the Star Destroyer. On the back of the box we have the side of the Star Destroyer. On the top we have the top, and on the other side we have the front, or I guess the front-facing view of it. The set has the 20-year anniversary Clone Wars logo, along with a better view of the back of the box. And here's a quick look of the dimensions of the set. It is 43 inches long and 12.5 inches tall, including the base. Overall, a fairly well-scaled model. And here's a better look on the back of the box of what the plaque looks like with the minifigures, including Rex and Admiral Yularen, which we'll look into later in this review, including the 20-year anniversary brick that you get in this set. And inside the set, we have two numbered boxes, including box number 1, which has a shot of episode 3, and box number 2, which also has a shot of episode 3 with some different details, including the Republic logo. And on the adjacent side of either box, we have another shot from episode 3 and another shot from episode 3. And I only say that because this set is Clone Wars based and not episode 3 based, but still, this set is very good, and let's get into the minifigures. In this set, there are two minifigures, one including the infamous Captain Rex, which has a beautiful rangefinder, beautiful cloth piece, beautiful arm printing, horrible leg printing, beautiful helmet print, and the two little molds for the antenna in the helmet, which are a little bit annoying, but they're not too bad. Next, we have Admiral Yularen, which again is a very basic minifigure, but still a very good minifigure at that. Next, we have the display stand with all the little specs that the ship has, including where it's made, the affiliation, which is the Galactic Republic, how large it is, how many people will have it, etc., etc. And it just shows a lot of the very good details this set has. And yes, this is the second ever printed plaque for a UCS set, the first being the UCS X-Wing from earlier this year. In this set, there's also a single Clone Wars printed tile piece, and this is the only one that LEGO has made at this time, and will probably be the only one ever made in production, because next year will be another year, and they will not be the 20th year of the Clone Wars. So this will probably be the only set that this brick appears in, and this brick will probably cost a lot of money. I would not be surprised in the aftermarket because it's printed. But yeah, that is the minifigures and the stand that goes along with them. And before we move on to the last thing, which of course is the build, we have the 4 instruction manuals, which are all about 200 pages long, or I believe 250 each, and they are about 1,000 pages. You're basically reading a huge Harry Potter book for this. And 1 and 2 show the front and the top, and 3 shows the back, and 4 shows the top view again, with 2 and 4 coinciding with each other. They can line up. You can make them line up, but they do not line up when you just put them diagonally across from each other. They do look a little bit off, and they are off, but they still look very good as instruction manuals. I would have preferred a spiraled notebook instruction manual instead, however. And here we have the UCS Venator. We'll just go up it, and we'll show some of the details. This is kind of hard to talk about or even show because there's no interior. There's just stuff to look at. There's no play features. It's all just one huge build, which of course there's a lot to talk about because there's a lot of very good details on this set that needs to be looked at. We'll start with the model they chose. The designers chose to do the Clone Wars version of the Venator, and how you can tell is that these are shifted upward on the Clone Wars version, and in episode 3 they're shifted down just a tad. In episode 3, which we can honestly just move them ourselves if you want to, they're just shifted from here to about here. So if you wanted to, you can display them like this. And overall, this is not that hard of a fix, but it personally does look worse. I do prefer them up further on the thing, but again, they are accurate to how it is shown in episode 3, and it's even curved along with that, so it shows the same length. And so it just like has the same curvature on it. It's not that far off. Does look, however, a little bit weird here. You could have a little bit of greebling, not much though, just move this up maybe. But yeah, then this gap does show a little bit more, but still, this does look very good and is an option to display it as. And to put them back on, all you have to do is take off these tiles, which are just placed on by 5 bricks, which again is a good way to get into the inside of the Venator. Just start off, of course, by just pulling it off. And it comes off fairly easily. And all you it's very easy to pull off the tile from here. Just take it off and you have the inside of the ship. We'll take a look at now. Now the inside of the ship is very big. I can fit my hand in there fine, and there's still a little bit of height in there that could have housed an interior. But if we just grab our Admiral Yularen minifigure, which is the expensive minifigure in the set, so I don't know why I'm grabbing it, there is not much space to have anything in here. I mean, there probably could have been a small interior in here, about this wide, and maybe like a little something in here would have not hurt, but that's probably going to cost like another few $100, and is not something they technically do in UCS sets, because then they're required to have more minifigures and then just add more and more and more to the set. But overall, this space probably could have been used a little bit more, which is a little bit sad to see. But again, this just shows some of the technical work and how beautiful the set is, especially on the inside. In this set, there's also a little bit of built-in space in the bridge that you can open up. It is a little bit hard to access, but once you get inside, there's a 4-brick wide little access point, which has space throughout like the inside of the set. However, you're not going to fit anything in there. There's a lot of movable little parts here, like this moves. It's a little bit hard and tricky to get back down, but all you have to do is pick up a few things. The bridge just fell off by doing that, so I don't recommend doing this. And like there's a few movable pieces in here, but it just looks amazing personally until you go to here, which this back slope is not too bad, but it could have been, I think, a little bit better with a little bit more detail, but I don't know if it really needed it. Just these slopes are a little bit annoying, but it's not that bad at all. Next, we'll look at the front of the ship before we go back to the engines. The front of the ship has 2 cannons on either side, which are they cannot move. There's no mobility. They break off like that very easily, which is kind of annoying in my opinion. But they do look fine without them either, so if you don't want them on, that works too. And a little problem I have with this set is that the front of the ship, if you look, has a lot of problems to it. It moves around like crazy. And if you wanted to get to the front, you need to take off this. Which, to take off this, all you do is pull it and take it out, which we're not going to be doing because you get the point. And next, we'll take a look at the thrusters or the engines of this set. This set has 4 on either side, and this side has 1 where you can disperse the engines a little bit. So if you wanted to, you could display it like that. Don't know how accurate that is, but it maybe doesn't look horrible. I personally don't like that. That's the first time I've done that. It does not look good, but the engines don't have a lot of droop. It's just that much, just the slightest amount. They are connected to the ship, and the ship is very stable at that, which I'll get to in a second. And there's a smaller one and a little itty bitty one with some little greebling on this side. Again, same on the other side. And it just has a very nice details to it. One more problem with it is that this will fall off really easily. I'm not going to take it off, but if you just poke around with it, especially with building, if you build the set, you'll see why. That is really annoying. Next, we'll take an underside look onto this set, and we'll just go across it. I mean, there's some nice details to it, and it just has a very nice underbelly to the set. And including the underbelly, we have a side little pod with a Republic gunship. This is supposed to be the scale of a Republic gunship based on the Venator. And that is pretty much everything for the set, except for one last thing. This set is very sturdy. I mean, you can pick it up, you're going to feel this jiggle, but nothing's really going to break off except for the few things. The back especially is very sturdy and works very well. And this is a beautiful set in my opinion. And I highly recommend buying this if you have the massive budget for this set. And I'm picking up with one hand on the front. Do not do that, but it does work fine. And yeah, that is the set. But thank you so much for watching this video. And I'll see you all again later, and goodbye.